grieve, Admiral. It is logical. The needs of the many outweigh
the needs of the few.
Or the one. I have been, and always shall be, your friend. Live long and prosper.
No.
Hello, Bots and Books fans, this is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to be taking a look at the Target exclusive Funko Target Con 2022 Pop Moments of Kirk and Spock from the Wrath of Khan. Yes, the Wrath of Khan. Nope, not the one with Benedict Cumberbatch, the real Khan, Ricardo Montalban. And that was a great movie from the 80s, and they decided to take the most tear-jerking moment of all of Star Trek and freeze it forever in this 2-pop set, and we're going to be able to take a look at it tonight. And speaking of saddest moments in Star Trek history today, we bid a final farewell to Nichelle Nichols, who played Lieutenant Uhura from the original series, and she was in all the movies, and she had done so much for the cause of the black community when she was on TV in the 60s. And I remember one of her best stories, she would talk about meeting Dr. Martin Luther King and how he congratulated her and he thanked her for being part of this show. And I did want to mention her since we are doing a Star Trek review. So anyway, back to the review as scheduled. Jumping right in, let's take a look at the box. You can see it is in a large open window box. You have Funko Pop Moments here, Kirk and Spock from the Wrath of Khan, vinyl figures, $11.97, and then you have the Wrath of Khan Star Trek, the Funko Target Con 2022 limited edition exclusive sticker. You have a little bit of credits for the box down here. On this side of the box, you just have Pop Moments, Kirk and Spock from Wrath of Khan, $11.97. On the other side of the box, you have Pop Moment, $11.97, and a Starfleet symbol right there. On the top of the box, you have Pop Moment and Funko. On the bottom of the box, you just have some credits for the box and a barcode, which is all well nice and good. And finally, on the back of the box, you have some nice product shop. You have Pop Moments, the Wrath of Khan, $11.97. Here it is out of the box. Nice space scene in the back. Kirk and Spock from the Wrath of Khan. Star Trek, more credits for the box. And that is it for the box. But I don't want to see these two awesome pops in the box. I know you don't, so let's get them out, flood the whole compartment, and see what they can do. So before we get started, you can see this actually does come with a little bit of space backdrop here if you want to like set it up somewhere and you can have your pops in front of it, you know, floating in space or, you know, looking up at the night sky. So that is really nice. I'm not exactly sure which way it goes, but I guess it doesn't really matter because it's space and space is infinite and who knows what all. All right, let's get this review started. And here we have Kirk and Spock out of the box, and they are positioned on this little platform and they can't move. They are kind of stuck. I don't know if they're glued or they're just pegged in. I know there's a peg on the inside of the glass here that Kirk has his hands pegged into, but I don't really want to try to mess with it and kind of tear them up if that's not the way it is. So I am going to say, for the sake of argument, that they are stationary and aren't able to move. Even the heads will not move. I did try to do that. Normally your pop articulation is going to be your head, but I couldn't get that to move. Anyway, this is a base replica of the engineering section in which Spock locked himself into a section of the engineering room so he could put the mains back online, but suffered a lethal dose of radiation. This base is really nice. It is about 8 inches across and about 5.5 inches tall, and it is basically just a little square separated by some plastic glass here and a little railing up here, and you can actually look in there, so it's open at the top, so we're all getting radiation poisoning as we speak. But anyway, taking a closer look, you can see Kirk here, and he is in his nice Star Trek II uniform, and I love the Star Trek II uniforms. It's a lot better than the pajamas they wore in the first Star Trek movie. It's nice and red. You have some black pants with a red stripe going down it, and it's nice shiny shoes. And you can kind of see on the back it does have this little white thing there, and then you got some more detail on the pop, and big head of brown hair that you can see. And I know it's a little dark. If I use my main lights, then you're going to get a lot of glare from the glass here. And then you can kind of make out Kirk's face. If we move the camera around, you can see it a little better from above. He does have two eyes, but he is just basically stuck right there on the glass. And so we'll get that a little more focus there and zoom in, and you can see he does have his hand up against the glass, and there is Spock's hand doing the whole live long and prosper, I shall always be your friend, which we heard in the intro. And then we have Spock, and you can see he is Spock. He has some nice pointed ears there, and some nice sharp eyebrows, nice sharp nose, and some eyeballs, black hair, and he's coming down. You can actually see, can we risk a little light? We'll try it. He does have his standard uniform on, and he has his oven mitt that he used to move the mains around with. Also has black pants with the red streak going down the side, and nice shiny shoes. I am glad they didn't make this as authentic as it was in the movie and have flesh hanging off of his face. That was kind of gross. In the back behind Spock, you can see a little bit of engineering panels. I'll sneak in here from the top and see just a few designs there, some wall designs, and that's pretty much it. And we'll zoom back out. Floor got a little bit of designs there with little squares, and if you want to see what it looks like on the back, there's nothing here, and there's nothing really here except the other back part of the little design. Coming around to this side, again, we see the back of Kirk. On the bottom, you do have a few things, a little bit of detail here for credits for the base, and that is pretty neat. You can see where they are kind of pegged in there. This is Kirk over here, and Spock obviously there. So that is pretty cool. And unfortunately, I guess that is going to be pretty much it for these two. I don't have a way to really move them about. I mean, I guess I could kind of put some comparisons in there to stand beside Kirk and be all sad as well. Maybe if I really didn't like one of them, I could stick him in the engineering compartment. But yeah, so this is really neat. And that is going to be pretty much the only thing that we could talk about with this review. It looks nice. It's authentic from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And it's just a heartbreaking little moment from Star Trek. All right, moving on. And this has been the Target exclusive TargetCon 2022 Pop Moments featuring Kirk and Spock from The Wrath of Khan. And this is such a cute little set. I love it. I wish the pops could come out and you could do stuff with them, but you can't, and that is what it is. But it is a great little memory from a very sad moment of Star Trek history, and if you're a Star Trek fan, you might want to pick this up. Now, obviously, it is a Target exclusive, and when it came out, it was a whopping $35, but if you act now and go out to your Targets, I'm sure you will find this like I did on clearance, and I got this $35 pop for $10.50. That was a great deal. Even when you are buying a single pop, it will range from anywhere from $8 to $10. And I have two pops and a action scene. So I think $10.50 was a steal for this set. So go check out the Targets. You may find it for that or less. And less is always better. I always like Star Trek stuff, and I don't think I've done a lot of Star Trek stuff for the channel. I do think that Playmates is about to release some Star Trek toys, and I know Super 7 did the reaction figures with the Next Generation. just nothing Star Trek has actually come out recently that's got my attention. I'm looking for something, maybe a 6-inch, maybe NECA can put some Star Trek stuff out. I would love to get a very articulated Captain Benjamin Sisko, because Deep Space Nine was actually my favorite Star Trek. I know that surprises a lot of people because a lot of people didn't like Deep Space Nine. They thought it was a little slow, but once you got into it, boom, I thought it was one of the better Star Trek pieces. But anyway, that is just my opinion, and you guys may have your own favorite Star Trek show. It could be Star Trek The Wrath of Khan, and this pop set is begging you to buy it, so I don't know. But anyway, guys, that's the review. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, keep playing.
We are assembled here today to pay final respects to our honored dead. And yet it should be noted that in the midst of our sorrow, this death takes place in the shadow of new life, the sunrise of a new world.